Time for the only radio show of its kind. Auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, veterans of vintage. It's the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. For the next hour, enjoy great information about buying and selling antiques and collectibles, and some interesting stories. Now, the Donnelly Auctions Hour.
Welcome to the Donnelly Auctions Hour. Thank you for joining us. We are here every Saturday at 1 o'clock from 1 to 2 p.m. Hi, I'm Susan. I'm here with Randy Donnelly. We are the owners of Donnelly Auctions in Union, Illinois. We're just 60 miles west of Chicago. And we are here today to talk about some interesting stories, upcoming auctions, and to find out what you might have at home that might be of value today. And Randy Donnelly, how are you? We survived the storm.
Oh, my goodness.
It was crazy.
How about that, though? Couple of days of snow, but I'll tell you, the roads coming into the station today were wonderful.
I know. We had no problems.
Thank you, snow plowers. You've really done a wonderful job.
They sure
us.
did. And I'm just glad we're not in Kansas City right now. You know, there's an NFL playoff game tonight against Miami. It's negative 30 degrees, folks. Be thankful we're in Chicago right now.
Yeah, I'm sure the tickets are scalpers aren't going to have a good
kidding.
time.
I don't care how much they are. I would not go sit in that. That's for sure. That's frostbite weather. Anyway, back to Donnelly Auctions. Hi, Randy. We have some interesting things to talk about today. For one, I want to touch base on next weekend. Next Saturday, January 20th, is our Antiques Coin Op and Cars auction. On Saturday, January 20th, folks, mark your calendars. With doors open at 8 a.m. Tell us a little bit about that, Randy.
Oh, Susan, what a great auction. You know, I sometimes get tired of saying we've got great auctions, but gosh, they are. Every one of them is a home run. This auction is fabulous. First, I want to point out it's only one day. It's January 20th, Saturday. So, you've got to come out or, go online. But, my goodness, what a variety. I mean, we've got, again, slot machines, jukeboxes, popcorn machines, advertising items, some great cars. I mean, a couple beautifully restored Model A's and that 1954 Chevy pickup truck I know you've got your eye on.
I know. Can I talk about that real quick?
Please do.
Okay, it's a 1954 custom Chevy 3100 pickup truck. It is a complete professional frame-off restoration. It's two-tone black and deep cherry metallic. It is a beauty. Only 218 miles since the restoration and the motor and trans rebuild.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. It's got a period-correct 6-cylinder motor, 3-speed shift on the floor, manual steering and brakes. Folks, coming up Saturday, January 20th.
Susan is selling this truck. And we've also got a couple great Jaguar ragtops. I mean, start thinking summer already.
I know,
Come on.
right?
It's not too early to get a convertible.
The 52 MG. That's a convert. That's fully restored.
Yeah,
and keep in mind, folks, also, there's only a 10% buyer premium on all of these vehicles we're talking about.
That's one thing always to consider. Whenever you're selling vehicles at Donnelly Auctions, yes, the buyer premium is, of course, only 10%.
That's right.
But we've got so many great auctions lined up. I mean, that's January, but you're heading right into February. My goodness, we go right into, again, military. One of our specialties is guns and military relics. And, again, this is February 17th and 18th. So it's not too late to consign.
Right. We're going to talk about that in the next segment, too, about how to call in and what types of items you're looking for the February auction.
Well, Susan, you just mentioned call in. Let our listeners know.
We're taking calls today.
We are taking calls today.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Who's got questions out there for us? Let me give you the number real quick. It's 312-642-5600. Does anybody have a classic car, a restored car, anything like that you'd like to ask us questions about today? Give us a call.
And that's any type of antiques, folks. This is new for us, taking calls on our show. We're happy to do it. And we're, again, talking about upcoming auctions and everything. But tell us what you have. We're always saying, it's so interesting. We find out all kinds of new items that people have collected over the years. So whether you've got one item or an entire collection that you want to talk to us about, we'll be taking calls again at 312-642-5600. And we're not going to. That's not going to be in this first segment. Though,
no, later.
A little later in the show.
We'll definitely have some
if you
callers.
call in, hold on.
I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say.
We want to take your calls. Absolutely.
Hey, Randy, I'm curious about some of the items in January. some of my favorite things that we sell at auction on a regular basis are toys, but I noticed there are some pedal cars in the auction. Can you give us a little idea of the value of pedal cars today? Is that something that if somebody has it in their basement, we should take for auction?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because so often, we're always talking to people about, being careful what you sell in your garage sales and your house sales and everything because so often people underestimate the value. And pedal cars is one thing that people find in garage sales all the time for as little as $10, $15, $25, when in reality, probably the average price of a unrestored pedal car is $150 to $400 for, we're talking just mid-range items. But there's plenty of pedal cars in unrestored condition that'll hit into the thousands.
Wow. How old are those that we have in the auction?
Well, the ones that we have are probably 1930s models,
1930s, okay.
And a couple from the 50s too. The history better than anyone of pedal cars. Being
I do.
What 1890s.
1890s is when they first started manufacturing them because only the wealthy people could really afford them for their kids.
That's right. The cost of manufacturing. So those earlier pedal cars pre 1940. Of course, pre-1940 are almost always designed after luxury or expensive automobiles because they were actually making miniature cars of what wealthier people would have been driving, and they made these for their children to purchase. Most, again, families in America couldn't quite afford it yet. And then, of course, during World War II, Susan, they had to stop production of pedal cars because, like so many other things, the metal was just, all being rationed and everything used for World War II purposes. So pedal cars really didn't see a resurgence until the 1950s, well after the war, at which point they were much more affordable, and you saw them in catalogs, and everybody could afford a pedal car by the 1950s.
Did you have one when you were a kid? Did you have a pedal car? Or did you ride to a bicycle?
I think I do remember one in the backyard, just an old rusted hunk of junk, that my father, I'm sure, bought some old used pedal car for us. But I never remember my brother and I playing with a pedal car. It was just not.
My kids had them, the Barbie ones, and you just put batteries in them and they'd zoom off. But I never had anything when I was a kid. Wow.
But,
great toys in this auction, just speaking of pedal cars.
But truly, pedal cars, again, very collectible. But we have a lot of toys in this auction.
I know. Wind-up toys, cast iron toys, all very good quality. We have a toy expert on staff with us, Ryan, who threw in some really great pieces. So, again, keep an eye on our auction, folks, at DonleyAuctions.com. You can see the catalog online. Just click on the button. It'll take you right to the auction. You can register to bid online and peruse through everything that we have. We have about 800 lots.
And as long as we're talking about this auction, let's point out that we have a nice selection of coins also.
We got coins, yes. It's an interesting auction, isn't it? A little bit of everything.
It really is eclectic. There's something for everyone in this auction. But I just noticed, we have a pretty good amount of gold in this auction, gold coins and gold sets and everything. So...
is that still holding their value?
Oh, my God. Well, gold is always, going to be, at bare minimum, scrap. And scrap is so high, it's over $2,000 an ounce. I didn't check to see what gold is at today, but, gold and silver is always going to sell well.
And keep in mind, if you are a coin collector, I believe the first 20 lots in the auction are coins. So, again, go to DonleyAuctions.com. It's DONLEY. auctionswithans.com.
I was surprised, Susan, too, about how many clocks are in this auction.
You're surprised? We get clocks all the time.
Well, we
but
do
these
get
are
them all
some
the time.
really good ones, too, because they've all been tested and by our clock guy. We have a clock guy.
Tick-Tock Clock. Folks, if you have any need for a clock repair, Tick-Tock Clock, go to his website. He does a great job. He works for us. That's who we hire. He's a wonderful source of information and reasonably priced.
Okay, that sounds good. Clocks, popcorn machines. We've got barbershop items, general store items, and, of course, the best of the best coin-op machines with that Deweyette. You want to talk about the mills?
You know what? A Mills upright slot machine on its own, a single, is very scarce and very collectible, desirable. But to find a double is just scarce
rare,
as hen's teeth.
Okay.
And any collector would want a Mills double.
Wow, good. So in addition to the coin-op things, we talked about cars and motorcycles. We even have a boat motor. All kinds of great stuff. Again, go to DonnellyAuctions.com, or you can always give us a call if you have something you would like to consign at 815-923-7000. But guess what, Randy? We have a caller who's going to be on our next segment. Folks, don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is new.
I can't wait to hear what this
Call
person
Donnelly
has to say.
Auctions.
Call Donnelly Auctions. So if you do have a question, 312-642-5600. You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour right here on AM 560, The Answer.
They've been called auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, even veterans of vintage. And they can introduce themselves. Thanks for listening. This is the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donnelly Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. I'm co-owner of Donnelly Auctions in Union, Illinois, and I'm here with Randy Donnelly today. We're located just 60 miles west of Chicago, folks, out in Union, Illinois, and we are taking calls today. Can you believe that, Randy?
No, it's a first,
I can't wait.
I've been so anxious to do this because, so often we're saying, call us, but then people wait until Monday, and
let me give them the number then.
shop.
Yeah, they can call today, though.
They can.
At 312-642-5600. And it's my understanding we have our first caller on the line today. Let's see if we can make this happen. I can't imagine what the question is going to be, but...
Okay, well, let's see how this technology works. It's new to us, folks. So,
I think we have a caller on the line. Do we have you on the phone?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear
we can hear you.
Hello. Very first caller, thank you very much for calling in. Who am I speaking to?
Wow, as the first caller, do I get a prize?
Yes, I will have a prize for you. Yes, absolutely.
Who are we speaking to before we're giving prizes away?
My name is Donna, and I live in LaGrange.
Hi, Donna from LaGrange. Thanks for calling in. What questions do you have today? Is there anything we can help you with in your world, at your home, or downsizing or auctions?
Yeah, I've been listening to your show a bit and your commercials, and my husband passed away a couple of months ago.
Oh,
and
sorry.
I'm so sorry.
This last has pushed me over the edge. So I am making a move to Florida, and I need to get rid of the things he's collected for so many years.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
what are we looking at? What types
of items?
Well, the ones I'm most concerned about is his gun collection, because I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with it or what's legal in terms of my liability to it all. So I'd really like to start with, his guns.
Okay. Well, Donna, thanks for that information. Randy, go ahead and tell her everything she needs.
First,
We're going to keep it simple
once again,
for you.
I'm so sorry for your loss, but one thing that's very unusual, and I applaud you on, is truly most times people don't get around to disposing of items this quickly, which is really so important, especially if you're looking to move. Because with laws, transporting firearms from one state to the other, and there's just so much involved with it, you want to always make sure, no matter who you deal with, that they are licensed. You want to be very careful to make sure that all state and federal laws are complied with. And here at Donnelly Auction, we do have an FFL, Federal Firearms License. So we can help you certainly. Well, we'll normally, especially you're from LaGrange, did you say?
LaGrange, yeah.
LaGrange. We can come out and make an assessment of what you have. You would be under no obligation with us whatsoever. We'll just take a look-see, but if you decide the auction route is the way to go, and of course I highly recommend it, we can actually take them immediately. We will be there to inventory them, giving you a complete inventory and receipt for what we have picked up, along with price estimates, and give you a copy of our FFL. And you, at that point, have complied with everything you need to do.
That's right. And you know what, Donna? We try to keep the process as simple as possible because I'm sure you're overwhelmed and, you're going through a grief period right now. We want to take all that off your hands so that you can move forward with your life. But we do have a firearm expert on staff with us. His name is Neil, and we'd even send him out to your house. We'll set up an appointment, and he will go over everything with you, and he will be very honest with what you have. And he also makes sure we toe the line with the ATF.
I really appreciate that because, I'm getting calls from allegedly his friends who claim that they've promised that he's promised them things. And so I'm just feeling like I'm in a really awkward position and would rather, have it go to auction so that they or others, could give me kind of the best price that would be available for them.
Well, and it's very well said. One of the biggest problems with selling items to friends is not necessarily what you don't want to think ever in your mind is you're not getting a fair price, but very often something else occurs, and that is multiple friends all want these items. Well, and then how do you choose who gets what and everything? And it's a very easy way to make enemies, whereas everybody has the same opportunity. Once they go to auction, if they want them, they can buy them at auction and bid on them accordingly. Then two things. Everybody's had the same opportunity, and you're definitely getting a fair price because not only do we sell live, but we're also selling online, which is going all over the United States, and thousands of people will be looking at these items. But what other any other items besides firearms?
I think you had a commercial about the basement party room, which we finished our basement, and it definitely turned into a party room. But through the years, it turned into one of those man caves that just collected piles of stuff. So I know he was into old signs. We have a jukebox, I think just a typical kind of collector's assortment, slot machine. But
wow.
To be honest,
you've got everything we're selling. You sound like a commercial for us. So certainly we can we can help, and again we can make assessments. And one thing I don't want you to feel awkward about, you don't have to wait for us to come in, because a lot of people say, well, we want to make sure what the relatives want first, and that's okay. Items should go to relatives, people that want things in the family and everything, but very often it's best to have us come in first so we can give you an idea of what the value is. Not that you don't want to give it to them, but sometimes you want to give things away to multiple people, and you want to make sure that they're all being treated fairly and all the prices kind of line up. So again, when we come out, I don't want you or anybody out there, folks that are listening, to feel you're under pressure to make a decision during our first meeting.
And the good news is, Donna, is that we have an April Spring Classic. It's our annual Spring Classic where we would be selling exactly those types of items, arcade machines, pinball, slot machines, anything you put a coin in, basically. And all we would have to do is really make sure we get you under contract by beginning of March so that we have plenty of time to promote it for you and, get over there, get it described, get it photographed. Again, the process is very simple.
But I want to thank you for your call. Is there any other questions while you're
Well, what I want to do, Donna, if you can hang on the phone, we'll get your phone number and everything, and we'll give you a call next week. How about that?
That sounds great. If it's as easy as you all say it is, I'm very grateful. Thank you.
We can't wait to talk to you again, Donna.
And our motto is, we'll make it fit in your wallet.
That's right. Thank you, Donna, for calling in, and I'll send you a prize in the mail.
So, well, yes, thank you. And Susan, you did mention that what she has really sounds like it fits right into our April auction.
Right. We have 2 classics every year. Those are our big, 3 to 4 day auctions. And one's in April and one's in November, the spring and fall classics.
Spring classic is coming up.
Kind of get a jump on that and get some of the best items for that April auction. It's getting close. It's right around the corner.
Of course, one thing I always want to mention, because people think of our Spring Classic as slot machines, jukeboxes, and signs, but I keep pushing folks. We always take cars and motorcycles in any condition. I just had a person tell me, oh, I saw some of the cars that ran through your place, and mine isn't anything like that. It's, unrestored and everything. Well, my goodness, we're always looking for cars in any condition because there's a load of cars that still bring very good money for what they are. And a lot of people don't necessarily spend the time and money to restore them. They do what's called rat rotting. So sometimes the look that you have, that old rusty beat up, in the garage look, that's exactly what they're looking for because that can't be just created.
And don't forget about that 64 Buick Electra we have in the auction coming up on January 20th. It's just cars like that, all ages. We got stuff in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s.
I'm glad you said that too, Susan, because that car is a daily driver.
Right.
It'll be a lot of fun for somebody and very affordable.
It's a convertible, too.
Yep.
I love
Coming
it.
Up.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad, Donna. Thank you so much for calling
us.
Our
first call.
I know. We will definitely give you a call back and help you through this process so you can move to Florida and hopefully have an extra room there for us as well. But it's not too late to consign to our April auction. Give us a call at 815-923-7000, or you can check our website at DonleyAuctions.com for upcoming auctions. Better yet, send us an email at consign at DonleyAuctions.com. You're listening to AM 560, The Answer. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Auctions Hour, I'm Susan, and I'm here with Randy Donnelly. Thanks for hanging in with us after that last break. We had our first caller. Thank you, Donna, for calling in. We appreciate that. Again, do you have anything in your basement, your attic, your house that you're ready for auction? 312-642-5600. We would love to hear what you have. Classic cars, coin op, you name it, we sell it.
That's right, Susan, and it's so exciting to finally, we've been on for over a year, and this is our first show that we're actually taking calls.
That's right.
We wanted to do it for quite a while, so it's pretty exciting.
I'm excited just because of the unknown. This is not a scripted show. Just kind of take it as it goes. I love it. It's a lot of fun. But real quick, I want to touch base again. We talked about our guns and military auction. Our next gun auction is Saturday, February 17th, Military Sunday on February 18th. And we are still taking consignments for that one, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you got to call us at the office at 815-923-7000 if you have anything like that to consign for the upcoming auction, because it's right around the corner, and we will help you out for sure. But, Randy, guess what? We have another caller.
Hey,
I can't wait.
Go.
Let's see what's happening here.
So exciting.
Thanks again for calling in, everybody. The number, again, get on the line here, 312-642-5600.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
So...
All right, welcome to the Donnelly Auctions Hour. Who are we talking to?
Hello, this is Doug.
Hi, Doug. How are you? Thanks for calling in. Where are you calling from?
Bartlett. How are you?
Hi, Bart. Oh,
hi, Bartlett.
Hi, Bartlett.
Bartlett, Illinois, yes.
Yes. Thank you very much, Doug, for calling in. What can we help you with today? You have anything interested in putting in an auction?
Well, I noticed you had a coin auction coming up, and we inherited a coin collection. And I'm curious as to the process of having it evaluated and getting into the auction.
Good question.
Okay. Well, once again, even though Susan and I own Donnelly Auctions, we can't know everything. And we do have people that on staff.
Are experts in that field.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And our coin expert would, in fact, do one of two things. So often people say to me, well, really, I don't want you to come over here. How about if we come to you? Well, that's okay. I mean, if you'd like to bring coins to us, that's absolutely okay. And what we will do on the spot, is give you an assessment of opinions of value and so on and so forth. You're under no obligation to leave them with us. But if you would like to, after we explain the complete process and evaluation and everything, you can actually sign them right up and leave them with us. But also, if you would like us to come there, we understand we're happy to do that anywhere in the Chicago area.
Bartlett's not that far. We can come right out and bring Ryan, our coin expert, with us.
And he'll, again, give you opinions and so on and so forth, and we go from there. Easy process.
But the other thing, too, I want to mention, Doug, our last auction in November, our annual Fall Classic, we had hundreds of coins up for auction. So what I would recommend, too, is do a little homework. Go to the auction at DonnellyAuctions.com and look at those realized prices, too. That'll give you an idea also of how much those are worth if you have anything like that.
Sure.
Does that help?
No, thank you very much. I appreciate the information and look forward to having the coins evaluated.
Okay. Thank you, Doug.
And keep in mind, too, we don't only do coins or that. We know that's what you called for, and I thank you for that. But we do all kinds of antiques, and we're always here to help.
That's right. Thanks for keeping keeping us in mind, Doug. And hang on the phone. We'll get your phone number. We'll call you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So coins, remember we had a bunch in November. They sold very well.
Yeah, they did.
They did. So we're going to do some more on January 20th. So again, if you're looking at prices, it's always good to go online to see what our auctions have done in the past.
And what's interesting to me, Susan, is normally the people that call us are either people who have not collected these coins but found them in estates or inherited or so on and so forth. And truly, they are clueless as to what the value is. And very often they are concerned about going to a shop for an evaluation. And I'm here to say that truly you don't need to be, I'm not trying to talk you out of, coming to us, but there's nothing wrong with checking out, going online to some of your coin shops and seeing what their ratings
are. Do your homework for sure.
You bet, because there's plenty of reputable coin shops out there. You don't need to be afraid.
Well, the other day, Randy, you mentioned something interesting that a lot of these items are passed down from generation to generation. So the people who have them now, that may or may not even be something that they collect or are interested in. Your parents' or grandparents' collection and passion may not be your passion.
Susan, there was just a person who brought in a cigar box. A cigar box
One?
A cigar box of coins.
Oh, of coins, okay.
full of coins, a cigar box full of coins. And as Ryan was sorting through, this penny is worth $25. This nickel is worth $50. There were quite a few, nicely priced coins.
Yeah, it all adds up.
It certainly does. I mean, unfortunately, there were no home runs in there. There were no $1,000 coins or anything.
But you never know unless Ryan looks at them.
I say all the time. It's like you don't want to throw away your lottery tickets without checking the numbers.
That's right. If you have any other questions, please call us. We are taking callers at 312-642-5600. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour right here every Saturday at 1 o'clock on AM 560. The Answer. We're not done yet.
This is fun. We want your calls.
We're going to talk about the Wild West town coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
And now, more of the Donnelly Auctions Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
We are back with the Donnelly Auctions Hour. We're taking calls today, folks. 312-642-5600. Please give us a call. I'd love to hear if you have anything specific you have a question about, because, we don't want you guys getting ripped off out there. So call us, because we are very honest, aren't we, Randy?
We are.
Will tell you like it is, folks.
And brutally honest, though.
I know,
unfortunately,
we have to be.
Unfortunately, folks, so often you're not going to want to hear what we have to say. The other, just this week, a woman,
what happened?
She has a car and wants us to sell the car, and then wanted to know why on earth we won't take the other items that she has. But there's just not enough money in it. And that's one thing we have to explain. I mean, in most cases, the items just don't have a good enough value. And that's
it's
okay,
the same amount of work.
At least See, that's what we keep saying. Check it out, because some things have value, some things don't. But you need to know just as much when items don't have a lot of value, because somebody might be offering you a really great price for something, and if you don't know that it isn't worth as much as you thought it was, you can't sell it. You become paralyzed and have no way to liquidate.
Right.
So we can give you the the brutally honest answers. Most often, items just don't have that much
we put
value.
our blood, sweat, and tears into every item, but we want to work smarter, not harder. So one good $50,000 item is the same amount of work as a $25 item.
Well, and speaking of that, Susan, license plates. We have to keep pushing people for license plates.
I would love to know if anybody out there has a license plate collection. Let's try getting a caller in at 312-642-5600. Do you have any license plates?
For years, when I was a kid in Berwyn, everybody, when the garage doors were up, you could see in everybody's garage, they had nailed their license plates to the rafters in the garage because every year they used to change. You didn't just get a little sticker to put on them. So people would line their garages full of old license plates. There's got to be a ton of those garages still left around the Chicago and suburb areas. So, folks, if you've got old license plates, I say this because even myself, I don't know everything about everything, and we've brought this up before on the show, but there was a license plate presented to us, and I told my brother, he's going nuts over this license plate. And I said, Mike, I don't see it. I think you're wrong. But as he investigated and everything, it turned out to be an exceedingly rare license plate, and we sold one license plate for over $30,000. Right. And those license plates are out there.
It was a Chicago plate.
It was. It was right. Chicago 1905, number one.
Number one. So the reason I'm asking, oh my gosh, are there any other ones out there? 312-642-5600. Who's got a license plate out there? Because let me tell you about the one that we have coming up for auction in April. Randy, I'll let you take it from here.
Well, Susan, because of the big money that the number one license plate went for, wouldn't you know that we get contacted with another number one license plate? And it turns out to be St. Louis 1911 license plate number one. And who knows? It'll be very interesting. It's a very early plate. It's serial number one. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of money it goes for.
I'm just reading here that it once hung in a local St. Louis bank, and legend has it that the framed plate disappeared after the bank closed in the 1970s, and efforts to trace its whereabouts have always reached a dead end. The good news is that it has resurfaced, and it is coming to Donley Auctions spring auction in April.
Isn't that absolutely a great story?
Now we can tell the story, right?
Yes, we can.
It was registered to a 1911 Cadillac owned by a gentleman who lived in St. Louis. He was a manufacturer's agent. Tag number one. Oh, my gosh. And it's framed. Yeah,
it is framed because during World War II, it was used for selling war bonds. They framed it, told the story of it, and they made a framed kind of a poster out of this, asking for money to donate to war bonds and stamps during World War II.
And again, if you know anyone who lives in the St. Louis area who would be interested in this item, please let them know about Donley Auctions. With this plate, it's going to be coming up on April 28th.
And once again, we are taking calls today. It's our first day taking calls. We're doing a live show here, so you can reach us at 312-642-5600, 5600, that is. And call us if you've got questions about your antiques, because we'd love to have you on the air right now.
Well, I think 2024 needs to be the year where everybody's making their resolutions and goals. Let's downsize, folks. We're here to help you do that. You're moving. People are moving out of the state. I can kind of see why, but especially after
let's not get political here, Susan.
I'm not. The weather. I'm talking about the weather.
Of course.
I'd like to move somewhere warm, too.
Absolutely. That's what I thought you were saying.
They're cleaning out their basements, their garages, the attics. Let us know what you have. So what I would always recommend, though, is send us an email at consign@donleyauctions.com, just with some photos and some brief information, and we will take the next steps and tell you what to do next.
And as Susan says, make us your New Year's resolution.
Ooh, I like that.
To get these items sold. Our first caller ever, by the way, a lady called, and unfortunately her husband passed, and she is already working on getting things liquidated because she needs to sell the home and move on. We see so often that people just procrastinate.
And you know what? They can call us at 815-923-7000. We also have the Donley Group who can help you sell your real estate. So if you go to our website at donleyauctions.com, we can help you with your property in addition to your antiques. But we're not done yet, Randy. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here every Saturday on AM 560, The Answer.
The Donley Auctions Hour continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan, and I'm here with Randy Donley, talking about items you might have at home that you'd like to put in up for auction. And guess what? We have another caller.
Sounds good.
I'm excited. I can't wait. His name is Robert from Oak Park. Robert.
Hello, Robert from Oak Park.
Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour. How are you, sir? What can we do for you?
So great to hear from you guys with the congratulations on opening up the phones for people to contact. That's excellent.
Well, you've been waiting to call us, huh?
Well, I listen to you every week.
Oh, you're kidding. That's
so
great.
Nice of you.
I have a fan. You're my first
he didn't say he was your fan. He only listens.
But I had a quick question. I'm involved in Homeland Security. We're involved in fire department activities and whatnot. I was wondering, do you ever have like old police or fire scanners or any of that up for auction?
Good question.
It is a great question, because so often we don't touch on everything that people collect because, now that we have opened the phones, we're going to be able to hear from people and know exactly what they collect. But yes, police and fire items do very well. But what we try to do is get enough items together, and make a nice size grouping so that we can promote it properly and everything. So very often people, if they consign to us onesies or twosie items, they're not necessarily happy how long it takes us to get them in auction because, like I say, what we try to do is make a group so that we can get you a better price, promoting it well with more items. But we're always looking for police and fire items. So if you have any, absolutely love to talk to you further.
Well, I was actually looking to purchase, like an old Bearcat, a scanner, kind of history to us.
Ah, okay.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that.
And see, I'm not familiar with that at all. So it's to me already piques my interest because I'd like to learn more about it.
That's more modern, newer items, right, Robert? Because we have some antiques and some vintage items right now, but we could definitely open it up for some newer stuff.
Well, and you know what, Susan? What I'm noticing is that people are collecting totally differently right now, and newer items can bring some wonderful money.
Exactly.
We're used to the antiques,
mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be that old 70s, 80s, even 90s items. A 1990 item is already 33 years old.
Oh, don't remind me. I know. So, remember we had police badges one year? Oh, my gosh. That was a huge collection. That was, and helmets sell really well, fire helmets and police helmets.
So, definitely please stay on the line so that we can get your information. I'd love to talk to you about your item.
Thank you, Robert, for joining the show, and keep listening. We'll be on again next week as well. We'll get your phone number and give you a call next week.
Great.
All right, folks. Randy, we got a lot of stuff coming up this year. We're really only about 6 months out with our calendar, so I just want to remind everybody, again, to give us a call today at 312-642-5600. We only have a minute left, but write down that phone number so you can prepare for next time to give us a call. I'd love to hear what you have.
Absolutely. And, you touched on the Wild West Town in one of our segments. And I just want to remind folks out there, too, that the property for the Wild West Town is on our website for sale, 25 commercial acres, and it's a great event center.
That's right. So go to DonleyAuctions.com. It's DONLEY, auctionswithans.com. Go to the Donley Group for more information on the Wild West Town. Go to our website again. For all of the dates of our upcoming auctions, we have like 6 or so up there right now for you to put on your calendar.
We always have at least one auction a month.
I know, right? We're going to do more. So stick with us. Next auction coming up January 20th. Hope you come on out. We have pizza and coffee and donuts. But for now, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley. And we'll see you at the auction.
Thank you for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.